What's up everyone, my name is DJCS and welcome to an all new video here on my YouTube channel. This past Thursday we had the Game Awards, and on top of all the awards that were given out, we got some new game trailers. I'm not going to be talking about all of them, but we are going to be talking about the ones that caught my interest and breaking them down and really diving into these trailers. If you're new here, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop it a like. I would greatly appreciate that. So starting off, in no particular order, we start with the Sega Remakes they showcased at the Game Awards, which start out with two people who seem to be hardcore gamers with a gaming chair, a desktop PC, only one monitor though, it's kind of odd, an arcade system. The woman tosses an unrecognizable generic controller to the guy and we hear some iconic Sega sounds. It's hard to make out what the arcade game is before the lights go out, but when they come back on, the design has changed and it's actually a tease to one of the games we will see in the trailer, Shinobi. Then things start to get a little weird. We get a few teases as to the games we're about to see. The skateboard goes, the Viking hat, the red glove, and the denim jacket. And then the most obvious, the crazy taxi license plate. The whole city goes dark and he questions,
"Did you save the game?"
Really? Of course I did.
I honestly thought this was a commercial for a new Sega console. Like a Nintendo Classic or something, a console with a bunch of Sega digital games. But they already do have one of those, and I thought this might be for like the Sega Dreamcast though. We hear the classic, then we get to see all the games they're remaking, starting with Jet Set Radio, Streets of Rage, Shinobi, Golden Axe, and Crazy Taxi. They do tease that there will be more at the end. But out of these 5 games, the only games I've played in the past were Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, and Crazy Taxi. We see that both Streets of Rage and Golden Axe have changed from the side-scroller style of the past to more of a 3D style with rotating cameras and such. Shinobi seems to be keeping that side-scroller arcade style, and Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio just seem to be more polished, modified versions. A couple OG Sega games I wouldn't mind seeing remade are Comic Zone, Kid Chameleon, Vector Man, and Toe Jam and Earl. No release date given on any of these games just yet. The next one we're going to talk about is a Jurassic Park survival game that seems like it's in the style of Alien Isolation maybe, where stealth is key and fighting back is not an option. I haven't played Alien Isolation just yet, it's on the list, but I would definitely be down for a Jurassic Park survival horror game. The game takes place on Isla Nublar, the main island where the first movie took place, and the game almost seems like it takes place right after or possibly during the events from the first movie. We see the SUV that was stopped right in front of the T-Rex exhibit that had scientist and dinosaur expert Dr. Alan Grant and the grandchildren of the park's creator John Hammond, Lex and Tim, inside of it. We see one of these velociraptors actually stomp on the hat of Dr. Alan Grant. This is obviously after they've escaped from the vehicle. The hurricane that caused the issues in the movie is still going on here, and then we hear one of our first characters, Dr. Maya Joshi, calling for help over the walkie-talkie.
This is Dr. Maya Joshi. I've been left behind on Isla Nublar.
She claims she's been left behind, but at this point, I don't think anyone has really left the island with the exception of those who left before the storm. She already seems injured possibly as we see a silhouette of a Dilophosaurus, which we also saw in the movie that killed Dennis Nedry before he could make it to the boat to leak info on the secrets of the island. Dr. Joshi runs into a kitchen and hides much like Lex does in the movie. This is definitely after that as we see the ladle is already on the ground and later it is revealed that the raptor Lex trapped in the walk-in cooler is still in there. Dr. Joshi throws the flashlight to distract the Dilophosaurus but is now in the jungle with no light. Some chatter comes through the walkie-talkie, but before Dr. Joshi can make contact, the Dilophosaurus has caught up with her and attacks, spitting ink at the doctor. She manages to run away and miss the ink. The ink actually hits the tree and escape for the moment, but may be in even more trouble as she collapses right in front of a giant T-Rex footprint. The water inside shaking with vibration from the T-Rex walking up right behind her. At least I think this is the T-Rex. Seems awfully small compared to the T-Rexes we've seen in the series, at least in this one shot. Then we get an action sequence of actual in-game footage with the classic Jurassic Park score in the background, and as I mentioned before, the tease of the raptor coming out of the cooler. This will be available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. No release date just yet. The new Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League trailer looks amazing, though fans are still worried about this game. With news about the Battle Pass, which has been said to be directed towards different skins for the characters, which is honestly nothing new, the travesty that was the Gotham Knights games, other multi-character comic book games like the Avengers, where you need to level up your characters, which you will likely have to do in this game, the constant pushbacks and delays. Also, the trailers of the past haven't really done much to sell this game. But this trailer, well, it starts off with a shot of a huge Brainiac in the background with our 4 anti-heroes standing in awe, which kind of give the plot away, I think. Brainiac has taken over the Justice League and thus the world. We get a voiceover from Amanda Waller, voiced by Deborah Wilson from Mad TV, also played Seer in Jedi Fallen Order. She narrates as we see some close-ups of the logos and suits of Batman, Green Lantern, The Flash, and Superman.
We trusted you. Let you live among us. Now your friends are slaughtering the people they swore to protect.
We see Wonder Woman, who is apparently kneeling or something in front of a statue of herself. We see some graffiti of Superman with the words, "We need you," then a shot of Green Lantern taking out some jets. There's a quick shot of the creators' logos. Then Batman pointing a gun? We hear another voiceover from Brainiac saying,
We'll burn this earth down.
Then with the lasso of truth, we are shown that Wonder Woman is not, at least in this moment, under the control of Brainiac. Flash tells her,
You have to kill us, Diana. We have to die to save the
A
world.
quick shot of what I assume are Amanda Waller's SUVs heading up to Arkham Asylum to grab our Suicide Squad members. A remix version of Gorilla's Clint Eastwood plays in the background while we get a series of action shots. Batman and the Flash question the efforts of the Suicide Squad.
You think you're a team now?
You think you can stop us?
Thought you'd never ask.
More Clint Eastwood, more action shots. Captain Boomerang throws shots at the Flash.
He's the fastest man alive, according to all these girlfriends.
I am honestly looking forward to this game. This is, after all, the last time Kevin Conroy voices Batman. I will just probably wait until it comes out and I see actual gameplay and hear some trustworthy reviews. I got burned by the Avengers game and the Gotham Knights game and learned my lesson. Rocksteady is making this game, the company that also made 3 of the 4 Batman Arkham games. All we can hope is that I wasn't the only one who learned from Gotham Knights as to what not to do for a DC superhero game. This will be available February 2nd, 2024 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. We got an official trailer in our first look for the casting of Frank Stone, a game by Supermassive in collaboration with Dead by Daylight, which will take place in the Omniverse of Dead by Daylight. I've never actually played Dead by Daylight, which is surprising because of how much I'm into horror. I've just never really had anyone to play the game with, and I'm not much into playing with randoms anymore. I have played a couple Supermassive games like Until Dawn and The Quarry, and this being a single-player game, one can expect it to be more on the lines of those games, where it's more of a choice-based game where you sometimes watch the game more than you play the game. Frank Stone is not currently a killer in the Dead by Daylight series, but one would imagine after this game, he will be added. The trailer starts out with what seems like Frank Stone working on his mask and his weapons of choice. We see him turn this large metal file into a sharp-pointed weapon. 4 young adults appear to be exploring the woods, maybe on the rumor of something scary in the woods or looking for their friend who may be dead. We aren't sure. They seem to make their way into the tunnels we saw Frank Stone's workbench in earlier, even get a shot of his abandoned work area, a bloody or rusty hook, very familiar to the Dead by Daylight players. The song Daylight by David Kushner lends its somber, creepy tone to the trailer. Frank Stone is revealed in his final form, but other than that, there isn't much to take away from this trailer, which is likely just a teaser. No release date just yet. The end of the trailer says coming 2024. The next trailer that caught my interest was Black Myth Wukong. I don't know much about this game other than it looks amazing, and that is based on the Chinese fantasy novel Journey to the West from 1592. It is an action RPG made by Game Science. This isn't the first trailer we've seen for the game, but every time I see it, I'm reminded of how much I want to play it. I'm hoping that the action play is more on the lines of a Ghost of Tsushima or God of War, rather than a Souls-like game. Just a personal preference. For those unaware what a Souls-like game is, Souls-like is a term that has been made for games that are like the Dark Souls games, such as Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring, Jedi Fallen Order, and recently Lies of P. Souls-like games have a history of being tough games, sometimes without difficulty levels. Saves are few and far between, and when, not if, when you die, you will start back from your last save and have to do everything you did up to your death over again. Again, just a personal preference. I played Jedi Fallen Order recently and started on Jedi Master. About halfway through the game, I lowered it to Jedi Knight, and by the end, for the second sister, I had to lower it to story mode for the sake of finally beating the game after fighting the second sister for about an hour. I look forward to this game, releasing August 20th, 2024 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Steam, and Epic.
Of the New West, welcome the Destined One.
The Destined One who doesn't even know what he's destined for? Those old rascals, they surely know how to name.
Tell me then, is my kind destined for extermination?
You're driven by greed, not destiny.
So this is the face of the Destined One. It will fit me just as well.
Bathed in blood, yet preaching peace. Oh, you immortals, pray enlighten me. What justifies your superiority? Destiny.
One of the biggest surprises was the teaser trailer for Marvel's Blade. I was less excited to see it made by Bethesda though, especially after playing Starfield, one of my first experiences at a Bethesda-styled game. But the game is made by Arcade Leon, a studio known for games like Deathloop, Prey, Dishonored, and Redfall, games I've never played though. The French on the building and being spoken over the PA system tells us that this is in France. And there is a lot of words here to break down. This one over here is a Latin term that says, and I apologize, I'm probably going to pronounce a lot of these things wrong, but this is Latin and it says fluctuate nec mergitor, which according to the website Paris Unlocked, in modern French it translates to il est agité par les vagues et mais ne sombre pas, or she is rocked by waves and but does not sink. This is a model that strongly suggests virtues of resilience, courage, and inner strength. It has recently re-emerged as a powerful, emotionally resonant symbol of contemporary Paris. This is spray painted a couple other places as well. There's a Vamps graffiti tag behind the main buildings here, either a gang of vampires who call themselves Vamps, or possibly a warning. There was also an IRPOH, not sure what that reference is. The sign Chez Isa says Le Boco c'est Ice, I think, underneath the Chez Isa sign there, which translates to the loop is ice, if I'm reading that correctly. Nature L translates to nature she, but is also play on natural. There's a Norse symbol in the window of the barbershop we recognize from Thor's hammer. Then there's this large Arabic in the middle window. I tried to translate this, like each symbol, and figure it out, but I decided to do an image search on Google, and after scrolling through multiple images, I found this. And according to AlMuhammadiyaAcademy.com, it's part of a longer verse which translates to, I seek refuge in the Lord of Daybreak from the evil of what he created, and from the evil of darkness when it settles, and from the evil of the blowers in knots, and from the evil of an envier when he envies. The main takeaway from this being, I seek refuge in the Lord of Daybreak, and from the evil of darkness when it settles. A nod to Blade, who can be out during the daytime, and the vampires who come out at night. Not sure what this symbol is, but just below it, it says coiffeur, which in French translates to hairdresser. Right below that is the store's logo, a straight blade with a half reef. Almost makes it look like an eagle or some kind of bird. It's hard to make out what the word is at the bottom due to the bars over the windows. As the time lapse goes, we do see Chez Isa's shop shut its metal gate as the nighttime rolls around. This definitely seems like an area where the vampire population is large and the residents are very aware. The barbershop is called Salon Afro and has a large cross on the door, also behind some bars. A bag of elephant blanks, I think that's what that says, sits outside the door. The woman on the PA system starts in French and translates it into English, warning people on the coming darkness.
Attention, the sun is currently setting. All citizens are required to shelter indoors.
Now, this is the first time we see a media depiction of Blade where normal people are aware of the presence of vampires. Inside the shop is the barber, and who we would find out to be Blade. Music is playing on the barber's radio, and Blade tells him to
turn that shit up.
I couldn't find this exact song, but lots of people are saying this is a French rapper, La Creme. People are saying that this exact song has not been released yet. The barber turns up the music, and we can see a countdown to what must be nightfall. There's only a few seconds left. Some of the articles here translate to takeover of a popular social network by SI, tense gatherings in major intramural districts, RE report explosives remain untraceable, and clashes break out on the sidelines of the social movement. The barber places down the clippers and grabs a straight razor. He seems very nervous and is so distracted that he cuts his finger on the straight razor. He wipes it off on his shirt, leaving blood on it. His hands are shaky as he gets closer to Blade, who tells him,
Relax, man. I don't bite.
in which we know Blade does not feed on humans, unless necessary. He uses synthetic blood to curb his hunger. The barber only shaves off a little patch of Blade's beard stubble before the alarm goes off and everything turns red. We immediately hear gunshots and see shadows from people or vampires running by the windows. Blade gives the barber 20 euros and tells him to lock up tight. Blade says,
Night's just getting started.
And pulls out his now iconic katana. The look of this trailer is identical to that of the Spider-Verse movies, down to the dotted, hashed comic book-like textures and high contrast visuals. This trailer is just a teaser of things to come and has no announcement date. It being a Bethesda game, it will likely only be on Xbox Series X and S and on the PC through Xbox PC. Fans were delighted to see that Hideo Kojima and Jordan Peele are working on a new horror game called OD. Using Xbox's game studios and their cloud gaming technology, Hideo says it is a game, at the same time a movie, at the same time a new form of media. Kojima has worked on many games such as Death Stranding, the Metal Gear Solid series, and he even worked on a canceled survivor horror game called Silent Hills, which had many fans wanting more after playing PT, short for Playable Trailer, which has gone on to inspire many psychological horror games. The trailer features Sophia Lillis, who was in both of the modern It movies, Hunter Schafer from Euphoria, and Udo Kier, who has been in so many things, including the first Blade movie where he played the leader of the vampires, Draconetti. They all say the line, the hungry purple dinosaur ate the kind zingy fox, the jabbering crab, and the mad whale, and started vending and quacking, all in different forms, happy, terrified, and what seems to be almost annoyed. This almost seems like an audition reel where actors would say lines in different forms to show range of emotions and acting ability. In their eyes is this odd symbol. Hard to tell if this is a reflection of lights or something that is being projected into their eyes. The imagery here seems like the actual actors and actresses standing there, but it also seems like this is CG. Really, really, really good CG. Here in Sophia Lillis' eyes, we can see something's moving around and we hear footsteps. Her expression is now that of fear when she was happy before. When she looks up to the door, she's completely terrified of what she sees. The trailer ends, and the OD logo appears like a flickering light. No idea what this game will be, but I will definitely be keeping an eye out for it. It says for all players and screamers, but it's followed by the Xbox Game Studio, so it will likely only be available on Xbox Series X/S and PC through Xbox PC. Then the biggest surprise of the night, other than Spider-Man 2 not winning a single award, nonetheless, was the God of War Ragnarok Valhalla DC. I heard that iconic singing and thought it was going to be a God of War game, but figured it was too soon for another full game. I thought maybe this was finally going to be a PC port for God of War Ragnarok. The trailer starts off with a chair surrounded by water, possibly the thawing of Fimbulwinter, which we had in Ragnarok. Kratos is rowing and asks,
You are certain you remember nothing of this place?
Oh, nothing that would help us.
Master thyself.
So we have confirmation that this is not a prequel to the recent God of War series, with Mimir being a talking head. Kratos is making his way to a temple inside a mountain. We see Kratos in action against Draugrs, Raiders, a dragon, a dark elf, and a variety of other enemies, leading up to this Cyclops, ogre, or troll. Then a title reveal and a release date, December 12th, tomorrow, for free. This will be available for both PS5 and PS4. I don't imagine this being a particularly long DLC, but I will be playing it and streaming it live on Twitch Wednesday night. That is going to do it for this, guys. Those are all the games that came out of the Game Awards show that I'm looking forward to. What did you guys think? Are there any other games that caught your attention? Are there any games you're looking forward to? Let me know down in the comments. With all that said and done, guys, if you're new here, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop it a like. I would greatly appreciate that. I do lots of trailer breakdowns here for mostly games I'm interested in, but for a variety of different games, including GTA 6 and all the games we just mentioned. Games that I have, knowledge on. If that's something you're interested into, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. With all that said and done, guys, my name is DJ CS. Have a good one. I will catch you in the next video. And as always, don't forget to tip your DJ. Later, dudes.